viewer, and welcome to the much requested agribusiness show, Arable Africa, with me, Faraji Kevin. I hope you had such a lovely week, and I'm telling you, we have such a great show in store for you. So you better belt up because it's going to get hot. But first things first, let us have a look at the news of the day.
Coffee earning dropped drastically in the past 4 months. This is according to market report by Nairobi Coffee Exchange. The report indicates that the earnings dropped by 13% from 5.5 billion Kenya shillings in October last year to 4.7 billion Kenya shillings in January 2018. Kenya's coffee is mainly traded at the New York Coffee Exchange, and change in the market price affects local earnings. The volumes offered for sale in the international market decreased. This was attributed to delays of coffee getting to the market towards the end of last year due to bad weather conditions. Kenya seeks to expand both the local and international market, as Nairobi Coffee Exchange has predicted that prices will increase following the increase in high-quality coffee in the market.
Farmers can now save money and pump water for free thanks to the improved bicycle pump that can pump 10 to 30 liters without use of electricity. Small-scale farmers can spend up to 3,000 shillings running water pumps that use fuel or electricity. With the use of bicycle pump, farmers will save the money used on fuel and channel it to other farming sectors. To operate the bicycle pump, one has to be physically fit. The amount of water pumped per minute depends on the depth of the water source. The power generated through the pedaling is used to lift the water and push it through a pipe to where the crops to be watered are. Making profit starts with minimizing production costs. Other pumps are expensive to purchase and maintain compared to the portable bicycle pump.
Japan is no stranger to fruit innovations. It is home for the famous square melon and other fruits. Japanese farmers use innovative deep freezing technique to invent monji, a new banana variety with edible peels. The banana was pioneered by Setsuzo Tanaka, technical development manager at the D&T farm in Okayama Prefecture, Western Japan. The extreme cold triggers rapid growth from usual 2-year period for the normal banana to 4 months. The end result is a banana which appears normal but is much sweeter than normal bananas, plus its peel is 100% edible.
Oh, welcome back. I was here just admiring these beautiful vegetables. Who doesn't like looking at food? I think food is very good for the eyes and hopeful for the stomach. So I'm here at Mogra Children's Home, and I'll tell you, they have used, or they're actually utilizing their compound to practice mixed farming. Now this goes into feeding around 400 orphans and less privileged children. This is such an inspiring story. So let me find Simon to tell us more about the mixed farming that they're practicing here at Mogra Children's Home along Kiambu Road. Let's do this. Tell us your name and what you do at Mogra.
My name is Simon Karoga. I'm the Children's Center Manager. I've been working here for almost over 12 years now. The Children's Center is registered under the Ministry of Social and Gender Services, where it is allowed to accommodate kids from the orphans, abandoned, and the street children. As time goes, we decided to do farming, because as Mogra Children's Center, we usually depend on well-wishers. And in well-wishers, most of the time, we saw that there's need for us to look for ways of self-sustaining, especially for the home, considering that we have little kids starting from a month going all along. So some needs the nutrients, like for the milk. Now we are doing a daily farming. We are doing the normal green grocery You can see the farm, there is have all kinds of vegetables, and we have 2 greenhouses which have been depending on.
Inaweza kuwa kama hauna mtu anakusaidia ununue hizo vitu ama nini, unakuwa na shida sana. Unaweza kuwa kama sasa kuna kiangazi, kama hauwezi kuwa na shamba yako, zaidi mboga, hizo vitu muhimu kama maziwa, unakuta zinakutatiza sana.
Please tell us, what vegetables do you have in your farm?
We have the spinach, we have the tomatoes, we have the all sorts, but it ranges with the, because we have nearby we have a river stream here, so where we pump the water, so we can be able to farm more. We are having cows, but before usually we have some sheep. We used to have pigs, but there was a disease that made them to let them go because we could not afford probably the disease that was around. It was discovered by the veterinary from Kasarani area, because we are in jurisdiction of Kasarani, and there was a need to let them go.
Okay.
Yeah. We sold them and some were just slaughtered. We used to sell to farmers' choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kama sasa kwa muda wa miaka 7 hivi sijai nunua mboga. Tuanga hapo tuna maziwa. Sasa watoto wanakula tu. Sasa kama vile niko na watoto wengi, watoto 320. Ni watoto wengi sana. Sasa ukinunua mboga, ununue kila kitu, kitunguu, ununue kila kitu, yani kununua na kutatiza sana.
It's quite cheap, and of course it is quite encouraging, because even when we have the children here, we try to give them some activities to do, so that is part of that ownership. They feel that they belong to Mogra Children's Home and they still belong to Mogra Farm, whereby they can have activities like maybe doing some small activities in the farm.
What are some of the challenges that you've been facing ever since you started farming?
Sometimes pest control is quite hard, considering even the season, because sometimes you are doing the crop rotation. So sometimes you might find that maybe the pest you are using, they are not able to cure some of the diseases. Even the farm, dairy farm, I've experienced like a foot and mouth, probably finishing the cows, and even the diseases for the pigs. So it's a setback. Although what I can say in farming is you must have a heart for you to do farming, because most of the time there is no setback, even the natural calamities like the sunny season, and you have no option, just only to farm. We need more advice on what to do and what we are not supposed to do, and we need on the resources, because even when you have good resources, even how to control the pest, I think we can be able to have more yields.
How many cows do you have so far?
Currently we are having 10,
Okay.
and I know two of them will be giving birth very soon, and currently we are milking 4. So that milk is being used by the young children, the small children in the orphanage.
So you use them for milk only?
Yeah, it's only used for milk only, because these were daily, they are for milk. All these animals still needs food to use, probably for supplements. You have to buy daily milk, you have to buy paste, you have to buy the ones for the multivitamin. You have to take care of the cow, you have to take care of the shamba, of the pesticide. And of course, like now, considering now that the DORA is quite high, the level of fuel is very high. So we need to pump water from the river so that we can be able to water the shamba.
Okay.
Ningesema watu wale wako na children's home wajaribu tu kufanya kilimo, hata kama sio mahali wanaishi, wajaribu tu mahali pengine. Kilimo inaokoa sana.
Give an advice to other institutions that are doing the same, that they need to focus more. Even if they are doing on self-sustainability, farming is one of the best things, especially for those who are doing, they know even in our country, agriculture is the backbone of our economy, but we are not doing what is expected of us. So probably you can imagine, for us even not be going to the markets every Saturday or every week, we need to have our farming, not only for the simple vegetables, even for the fruits. Like now we have the bananas with us. Of course, you don't need to have to go in the market to buy bananas. You don't need to go market to buy the avocados. You don't need to go to the market to buy carrots, the potatoes. They need to plant them in plenty so that they can be able to sustain them and of course give the kids the required nutrients.
Thank you. Once again, I'm Samuel Mwangi, working with Latia Agribusiness Solutions based in Isinya in Kajiado. And today we are going to tackle the topic of diseases in greenhouses. And this is one of the biggest problems facing the Kenyan small-scale greenhouse or tunnel farmer. And the economic importance of these diseases is something that is all there for all to see. And we have seen farmers run into huge losses from these diseases in the greenhouses. And farmers are continuously making basic mistakes unknowingly, which is translating into serious losses on their enterprises in managing the crops inside the greenhouses. It's important because of the losses in returns. You have already invested into greenhouse farming and you can't get returns. And also, looking at the big picture is the food security for the country. It's important that you get the yields. We have to feed the nation, and if the diseases are going to damage our crops, there is no food for the country. It's important that these are managed effectively within the costs. Things like the basic design mistakes, the design of the greenhouse that farmers make, impact heavily and create conducive conditions for the development of these diseases. If you are in a hot area and you are going to construct a low tunnel, the daytime temperatures get very, very hot, and that creates conducive conditions for development of these diseases. If in your greenhouse there is infrastructural the damage on the covers or on the side nettings, or if the doors are not managed well, there's poor ventilation, that also creates a room for entry of the insect pests, for example. And these, they create pathways for pathogens, especially on the leaves, on the foliage, for these diseases to also affect your crops. So basic design mistakes is one of the areas that needs to be tackled. Most of the diseases we see, the Kenyan farmers struggling with are soil-borne. We've seen the cases of bacterial wilt ravaging the Kenyan tomato farmer. We've seen the cases of fusarium wilt. We've also seen the cases of powdery mildew affecting the farmers, especially where you have pockets of air created inside the greenhouse because of lack of proper air circulation inside the greenhouse. We've also seen cases of downy mildew on the crops inside the greenhouse. So those are some of the diseases that we see the Kenyan farmers struggling with. One of the issues that, one of the questions we have to ask ourselves is, where do these diseases come from? When there's no crop in the greenhouse, where are these diseases? Because once you put your crops on the ground, the diseases come and they ravage your crop. One of the key things that we see, one of the mistakes the Kenyan farmer makes is unlimited access to their greenhouse production areas. There is need to have limited access to your production site. As you can see here on our site on Latia, we've got our greenhouse production area is a restricted site. And this means not everybody can just walk in to make sure there's a reduced influx of disease entry points into your greenhouse crops. Number two, it's important that your greenhouse structure, its integrity is managed well. So you don't have torn covers, you don't have torn side nets, you don't have open doors, you don't have entry points, because some of the fungal spores are blown onto the crop from plants, for example, of similar botanical families. So a disease like powdery mildew, for example, would be blown from outdoor tomatoes into greenhouse tomatoes by wind. Yeah, so it's important that these entry points are properly managed. The biggest challenge on managing these diseases is, by the time you see the plant disease, it may be too late. By the time you can see it with your eyes, it means the disease has progressed into the plant. And at that point, at that juncture, you may need to resort to stronger pesticides that are curative in nature to manage this disease that is already inside the plant. So, and that comes along with a huge cost. So what we advocate for and what we are advising the farmers to do is to have in place preventative programs for managing the diseases. And that means locking out your greenhouses, limiting the access, ensuring there is sanitation, and whatever, like for example for the tomato greenhouses, you've got the double door design on the entrance of the greenhouse, and there's a footbath with a disinfectant at the entrance, so that you don't get in the soil-borne pathogens with your boots into the growing area, and you manage the diseases that way. Also, effective scouting inside the greenhouses, and also considering that by the time you see the disease, it's already too late. You don't wait to see, you prevent by instituting a preventative program for disease management.
I hope you've had so much fun throughout the episode. You can now unbelt until we meet next week, same time, same place on this same channel. Please remember to follow us on our social media handles, Arable Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, Faraji Kevin on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Remember to ask us questions. If you want us to come and visit you in your own farm, please, we'll be so glad to visit you and highlight your story. Well, just before I go, I will be leaving you with the In the Market Value segment. Get to know what you can buy and at what price so that you get value for your money. Until next week, I've been your host, Faraji Kevin. Take care of yourself.